Hello there and welcome to Adie Craft. Today I'm going to be showing you how to turn this classic Minecraft house using 10 simple steps into this incredible one. So don't go anywhere and let's get on with the video. So here we are at the start of our Minecraft journey, and you will all have seen houses like this before. I'll just give you a quick look at the inside. Very basic, just using all of the resources that are freely available for you when you start the game. And yeah, I'm going to be showing you 10 incremental steps that you can take, just improving one thing at a time, that can show you how by doing that you can progress from this to something a bit more spectacular with a bit more wow factor, but still using the same basic blocks and nothing really that you shouldn't be able to get hold of very early game in survival. So let's move on now to the first thing. So what we have here is basically just a box. We've got a roof on, we've got some cobblestone for that roof, and yeah, it looks okay, to be honest. I mean, I've seen worse houses, and it does everything that it needs to. You've got some glass for the windows just by getting some sand, but what can you do to actually take this to the next level? Well, the first thing that you can do is actually just change up the box shape. So the first thing you can do is simply just add a couple of annexes. So what we've got here is we've just got like a 3x6 in fact, on the front, shifted the front door across, and then again got a 3x5 on the side, and just immediately the difference you can see between the two is quite impressive. The fact that just by adding any box shape on the side, connecting up the roof, adding an extra little roof to whatever piece you're doing, and you get an entirely different feel to the house. So yeah, first step, take your basic boxy house design and then add some extra shapes onto the side. But once you've done that, what can you do? Well, step 2 is basically just mixing up the blocks a little bit. So here, very simply, I've just added some stripped oak and then switched out the majority of the roof for some spruce. Now, it doesn't have to be spruce, it could be birch, it could be dark oak, literally anything that you've got available. It could even be andesite that you've got and you've then turned into some stairs. So the roof is still just stairs here, but even with that just slight block variation, again, just that little thing makes all the difference through to your build. But once you've got to this stage, there's still things that you can do. There's still a lot of improvements that you can make. And the first thing that you'll be wanting to do after you've done this is actually start switching up your roof. Now, again, this looks very complicated, but actually it's not too bad at all. What you've just done here is mixing in every so often a full block. And all you've done is you've got 3 full blocks mixed into the actual roof height, and that changes the roof height. It changes the pitch of the roof, but it looks so much more impressive. And again, I've got a slight different variation here. I've just gone up 1 block, but this is obviously a 2-block center for this piece. But yeah, just by adding a single block in there, you can make the roof much more interesting. Literally nothing else has been changed from the second change to the third change, apart from the roof, and then you can just add a couple of little embellishments that you've got there, and you're already starting to look like you've got a much more impressive house. And it really isn't any jump from that first house to this. Very few things that you've needed to change to do that. And then once you've got this, what can you do next? Well, you've got a roof now. The important thing that you could probably do, and what every house needs, is adding a chimney. So just by going and switching up the blocks, again, you've got stone, you can smelt that into smooth stone and make some bricks from it. Get maybe some moss, you don't need to do that, but with doing that, you've created a chimney. Get some campfires on the top, just get some oak trapdoors, and again, you get a much more housey feel. And I'll just head inside and show you that I've just created a little fireplace inside. And again, nothing too complicated. It's just a hole with some iron bars and that just goes up into the roof, so the smoke goes up, and then at the top you have a couple more campfires to make the smoke go. But already inside and out, you're starting to make massive strides, moving from your boxy house to something that's significantly more impressive. But once you've done this, what can be the next step? So for this, we're up to what, step 4 now? What's step 5? Well, step 5 is a little bit different. Step 5 is just changing up the windows. At the moment on this one, we've got some glass, just some glass blocks in the windows, and they look very flat. Just by adding in a little bit of detail in, so this is just 4 sets of stairs that are all in a shape, and this is just again some stairs around some glass panes. It's actually more effective to use the glass panes in the windows, and it just makes the flat walls, the flat areas look that little bit less flat, adds a little bit more visual interest. But again, a very simple change that you can make for step 5 in order to do that. So we're now up to step 5. What's the next step? The next step is doing a bit of decoration on the outside of your build. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, so again, I've not done anything particularly fancy here. I've just extended this doorway out, added a couple of gates, a couple of fence posts, a little bit of andesite to give sort of a different block variant. Used some lanterns. Again, they don't cost much to make, so an iron ingot will get you a lantern when you've got a torch as well already. So again, you don't need to have anything late game for this. And then just some window boxes, and again using some spruce, but it could be any other wood. Could even be oak if you wanted. There's no reason why it couldn't be. Could be stone, could be, like I say, andesite with some trapdoors there. Whatever you wanted to use, but again, just adding more to the build, just incrementally, just working with what you've got and adding these extra little bits to the build. And as you can see, it's already something that I think most people would be quite impressed with, and there's really not too much that you need to do to move from your basic building to something like this. So what's the next step? And now we're moving on to some slightly more detailed stuff, and that's just do a bit of landscaping. Pretend like you're Goodtiemswithscar and just go wild. All you need to do is throw some bushes in, some path blocks, a little bit of grass with some bone meal. Then obviously you can get hold of some leaf blocks and just stick them in. Make yourself maybe a little water feature. So this is again just using some andesite here in order to actually just make sure that you've kind of got something more outside, and it brings your home to life. And now we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stage 7. So we're already getting close to the finished result. And what is going to be there for stage 8? Well, stage 8 is a little bit different because we have to go back inside the build for this one. So if we come inside the build, what I've done here is just started to mix up the inside a little bit. So all I've done is put in some logs. Again, this is just a beam that goes right the way across the build, using some birch planks some birch slabs in fact, to get again this little bit of depth that we've got in the build. Some ladders to come up, and we've created a mezzanine, a second floor in this build. And we've looked at the outside, we've made massive changes to the outside, but when you then get inside, you want to also have some really nice features. So again, just by using a simple floor design, keeping this open and double height, then you can make quite a big difference to the interior of your build. As you can see from the window, what I've just done there is use some glass blocks behind the 4 stair blocks, so you get that nice window effect. But yeah, once you've got this inside, as soon as you walk through the door, you've got the fireplace burning, you've got some beams, it already has a lot more character. But still the same basic build, still nothing really has changed from that underlying build that we've got. So the next thing that we want to do is stage 9, and we're getting very close to the end now. And 9 is again another interior thing. So let's go back into the inside of this, and that is, don't forget to do your interior. So what we've got here is we've just got some little design features like a table and chairs here, maybe a couple of pictures on the walls, some paintings. Make sure that you do include all the practical things, like I've just replaced a block there with a crafting table. We've got a little seating area in front of the fire, so you've got something there that looks nice. So kind of when I try and do interiors, I try and make a nice compromise between having the practicalities of things like having your furnaces all here, so you've got 8 furnaces and a blast furnace there, having some storage, making sure you've got everything that you need, but also doing some nice little features like this little bookshelf with just some little decoration. So there we've got a coral fan that won't, unfortunately, I don't think work in Bedrock, but definitely in Java you can use an item frame underneath a coral fan, and it looks a bit like a dish or a bowl with something in. And then you can come up here and we've just got a little bed. We've got a little bed area, we've got everything that we need, the grindstone, the anvil, just to make sure that we are able to unenchant and enchant things. Again, just little things like plant pots dotted around, a little painting down there with some more hanging lanterns, some smokers, so you've got a little kitchen area, and then just some more storage. So throw in some carpets as well, and that is something that really takes the build to the next level, and means that you're not just living here, it's not just practical, but again you've got something that has a bit of the aesthetic that you're looking for. And yeah, really like how the build looks at this point. However, there is one very important thing that you need, and step number 10 is one of the most important things that you can have in any Minecraft world. And again, we're going back inside here. Get yourself a doggy and a kitty. You can't really have a house and call it home unless you've got some pets. Hello. So yeah, get yourself a doggy and a kitty. With the extra bonus, particularly with the cat, that if the cat sits by the front door, no creepers are coming inside. So yeah, get yourself some pets. And those can be anything that you want, but yeah, they'll add a bit of life to your house. You can let the cat go and sleep on the bed and all will be good. So that is the finishing touch. Bye you two, I'll see you later. So yeah, that is the finished build, and you can see how quite easily, without having too much effort or doing too much to your build, how you can turn it from something that was less impressive, shall we say, but using the same resources, to something that pretty much anybody would be proud to have in their Minecraft world. So yeah, here is the finished build. So now with the final touches in place, we have our finished house, and yeah, I think it looks really good, and it's just pretty much the basic design, but just making a few key tweaks and adjustments, incrementally improving it, and also improving your building skill as you go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please let me know in the comments, I really do appreciate it. Please do leave a like as well, that really helps the channel, and above all, make sure that you do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see any future videos. And with all that being said, all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on Adie Craft. Bye!